If you get sick of Nantucket, you can always come to Vermont. We have newspapers up here, too." Taylor smiled as she chatted with her father. She'd just spent a week with him in central Vermont, in the tiny rural town that he'd retired to. It was a beautiful area, but there wasn't much happening there. He liked it that way, though, and was content to hike his fields and feed his chickens. Taylor was happy to visit when she could, and now that she was in New England, she'd be able to get away and see him more often than she had living in Charleston. "I'll keep that in mind, Dad. You should come for a visit once I'm settled in. Have you ever been to Nantucket?" "No, I went to Martha's Vineyard a few years ago. That was nice. And on the way home, we stopped in Plymouth and visited the Mayflower and Plymouth Rock. I just read a book about the Mayflower. It's fascinating stuff." "I'm sure it is." Her father was a big reader, especially of history. "When you come here, we can go to the Whaling Museum. You'll love that." "That sounds good. Are you there yet?" "Almost. We should be docking in a few minutes, I think." "Okay, I'll let you go then. I'll talk to you in a few days." Taylor ended the call and went outside on the deck of the Steamship Authority's car ferry. It was a slower way to get to Nantucket, a little over 2 hours instead of the hour it would take on the passenger-only ferry, but Taylor wanted to have her car with her. She'd driven it from Charleston to Vermont and then through Boston to Cape Cod. She knew she could probably get by without a car in Nantucket, but it was more convenient to have one. An older model Honda Civic, her car was the longest and most reliable relationship that she'd had. She was excited and a little nervous as she saw Nantucket Wharf straight ahead. This was a big move for her. The only person she knew on Nantucket was her former college roommate, Abby. She'd briefly met the rest of her family when she visited Abby a few times, so she supposed she knew them too, but really only as acquaintances. It felt like the right decision, though. She had loved the charm of Nantucket when she'd visited Abby, and the opportunity at the newspaper came at just the right time. Her mother thought she was a little crazy to take the job, though. When her parents divorced, soon after Taylor graduated from college, her father had moved to Vermont, and her mother and Taylor stayed in Charleston. Her mother remarried a year later to the owner of the real estate firm her mother worked for as long as Taylor could remember. Her mother lived and breathed real estate, and Richard, her husband, was the same, so they were well suited. But Taylor couldn't be more different. Her mother won sales awards every year and was one of the top realtors in Charleston, and she dressed the part and was active in all the best society organizations. She urged Taylor to follow in her footsteps, to at least join the junior league, but Taylor had no interest. One of the things that attracted her to Nantucket was that it was more laid back, and a more natural, less makeup look was the norm instead of the exception. When she was younger, Taylor used to love chatting with her mother as she put on her face. All the layers of foundation and powder, eyeshadow, and sculpting creams. The few attempts Taylor made to do the same had resulted in frustration and melting makeup streaks. She preferred a more minimal approach. A slick of mascara and lipstick, maybe a hint of blush, if that. Her mother was intrigued, though, by Nantucket real estate. "Honey, that's one of the hottest markets in the country. If you could get into a good office there, you could make a fortune. I'm sure I know someone that could get you an interview." Her mother never understood that Taylor wasn't driven to succeed in the same way. As long as she had enough money to pay her bills, she was fine, and no one went into journalism for the salary. It had taken her a while to figure out what she wanted to do, though. She'd majored in English and communications and knew that she wanted to do some kind of job that involved writing. She didn't focus on journalism initially, as she thought something creative might be more fun, maybe in marketing or advertising. Her mother had approved of that, especially advertising, as it was a more glamorous field, and if one went into the sales side, the income could be quite lucrative. But sales had never interested Taylor. Her first job out of college was for the biggest advertising agency in Charleston, as an assistant.